Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bob Bobbingson, and today we have resurrected one of the finest men during the age of American imperialism, here for a lovely interview today. Let us remember the time of American imperialism when we were all fighting all the time and things were not great. Sitting with me on this couch today we have, what's this guy's name again? Oh yeah, Alfred Thayer Mahan. So how are you doing today, Alfred?
Just splendid, Bob.
So, Alfred, you're a well-known leader, or you were a well-known leader in the time of American imperialism, right?
Indeed, all those mortals fear me.
I see. So on this here little notebook, I've written up a few questions that we'd like you to answer for us today.
I'm not sure, Bob. I've only got about 10 minutes of clean blood left.
Don't worry, Alfred. We'll try to make this as fast as we can for you.
Alright, but just for you, Bob.
Alright, so our first question for you today, Alfred, is what was the reason for the growing trend of American imperialism?
Well, it's because of the economy, politics, religion, and exploratory. The economy had desires to make money and expand business for foreign trade on raw materials and cheap labor.
Well, how unfortunate for that.
Indeed it was.
Alright, what was the deal with America and Alaska?
You mean the acquisition?
Sure.
Well, on March 30th, 1867, the U.S. purchased Alaska and Russia for $7.2 million. The treaty that was created, it was signed by William Seward and Edouard de Stockel.
I hope we knew what we were doing paying them that much money.
Debatable.
Alright, now how about Hawaii?
Purchasing Hawaii helped to extend U.S. territory into the Pacific and highlight economic integration.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Spanish-American War and what effects it may have had?
It lasted from April 21st, 1898 to August 13th, 1898. It ended up resulting in the U.S. having victory over the Treaty of Paris of 1898. However, hostilities began following the internal explosion of the USS Maine. Then it caused the U.S. to get into a feud with the Cuban War. Sorry, I'm dying.
What about whatever happened between us and the Puerto Ricans?
On July 25th, 1898, U.S. troops had invaded Puerto Rico. Then that led to the beginning of the U.S. colonial domination there. In fact, it still continues to this very day. After the outrage of the new American military governor, they hadn't been bothered for when the rebel party wished for disbandment.
How tragic.
Where even am I?
Next question. What was our relationship with the Philippines?
Not very good, Bob. Considering we took over their island.
Oh, well, you win some, you lose some.
But we did win.
Moving on. How were we able to deal with China?
The Boxers in China had blamed foreigners for colonizing their country because of poor living standards. Then that eventually led on to the widespread killings.
Well, I'm sure that you knew Theodore Roosevelt better than the rest of us. What kind of man was he?
Theodore was the one who had a special empire in the making. After Hawaii had become annexed, he established the Panama Canal, and he had to become the first U.S. president to end up leaving the country while he was in office.
Anything else to add?
Actually, yes. The Roosevelt Corollary was established to intervene with any Latin American countries in order to maintain regional stability.
And our last question we have for you today is in regards to Woodrow Wilson and his foreign policies.
After World War II, Mr. Wilson established the infamous 14 points with the League of Nations, with world peace and national security was the top priority. However, other allied nations disagreed with Wilson's points.
How breathtaking. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our segment for the day. Thank you, Alfred, so much for... Oh, you're dead. Anyways, my name is Bob Bobbingson, and you're watching the best news channel that you could ever ask for on the planet. Back to you, Barbara. Now, sitting with me today, we have... What's this guy's name? We'll try to make this as fast as we can. Blah.
Just for you, Bob. Just for you, Bob.
You should have had like a little wink.
Wink. I got lost. Well, on March 30th, 1867, the U.S. purchased Alaska and Russia for $7.2 million. The treaty that was signed by William Seward and Edouard de Stoeckel. I couldn't pronounce that name whatsoever. Edouard de Stoeckel? It lasted from April 21st, 1898, August 13th, Oh wait, that was a dash. So. After the outrage of the new American military governor, they hadn't been bothered for when the rebel party, where even am I? That's what it says.
I know.
Where am I? All right.
Well, I guess it goes to
I have to turn the page, you know. So.
I know.